Hello, dear viewers. My name is Brecht Arnaert, and today I will have a talk with Mr. Scott Schamber. Mr. Schamber is the Director of Precious Metals at Global Gold, the sponsor of our conference. Tomorrow he will hold a talk about the storage program we have there, but today he will give a short preview on that presentation. Hello, Mr. Schamber. Very nice to have you here.
Brecht, thanks a lot for having me.
Okay, so I have three questions for you. The first one would be, well, there are many gold storage programs in the whole world. Why would anybody choose for Global Gold? What makes you different?
Well, I mean, Global Gold, I think, is quite unique. It is the same in that we basically offer the purchase and storage of physically allocated precious metals, bullion, bars, and coins in gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. I believe one of the main differences and one of the unique things about our offering is we're 100% Swiss. I mean, you're listening to me. I'm obviously American, but I've lived in Switzerland 18 years. Okay. And I've actually been with the group that Global Gold is under for 16 years. So I've been BFI Capital Group. I've been working with them for a long time on helping clients preserve and protect their wealth. So Global Gold is exactly along those lines. I mean, the program was created to be the perfect crisis, scenario against a crisis. And so we're a non-banking solution. We do offer the purchase and storage, unencumbered ownership of that precious metals, meaning allocated, meaning that it's also possible for us to sell, arrange for you to come and pick up the precious metals or deliver at any time as well. That's one of the big key differences. We don't loan, we don't hedge our precious metals. So it's a one-to-one program. What you buy comes into the program, stays there contractually until you tell us that you want to sell or you want to take delivery. Those are some of the key things. Of course, there's many other benefits that we're going to discuss here this weekend, but I think those are some of the keys. I mean, we don't do fractional ownership. Again, it's not a paper program. It's when you buy, you store with our storage facilities, mainly in Switzerland, but also Hong Kong, Singapore, and now New Zealand.
I even noticed that you have to send a fax. You don't have an online system.
You know what? It's really interesting that you bring that up because we were considering the online purchase and sales. A lot of people do it nowadays. But at the end of the day, there is risk even with that. And we find that our clients really like the fact, not all of our clients use a fax machine. I mean, the fax goes off about once every 3 months now. Yeah. But the fact is we still use the fax if somebody prefers. Most of it's done via email. We're actually going to have something pretty soon on our client online portal where we'll actually be able to do messaging. So like a secure messaging. So even get beyond the normal emailing, scanning, and emailing, clients will be able to send in information, their buy order, sell order through the client login portal.
What I liked about it, because this is a little background, normally you go around and look for a sponsor that may sponsor you. In our relationship, it was different. I chose you because at Macro Trends, we have been comparing a lot of storage programs. And what I liked about Global Gold is that it is outside of the EU. It's literally in Switzerland. So if we would have capital controls one day, well, you are legally outside of
And I'm going to tell you right now, Switzerland being the direct democracy that it is, I don't think the Swiss are going to vote anytime soon to be a part of the EU. No, so, I mean, that's really, in my 18 years of Switzerland, if I think about investing anywhere else, I would really have a hard time imagining where else you could feel more safe with your money. I mean, I think they still say that there's about 1/3 of the world's wealth is in Switzerland. And despite everything that's gone on over the last, 10 years or so, starting with UBS in 2007, all the things that came up about, privacy is dead in Switzerland. I really honestly have to say that's not true. Yes, things have changed, since the old days. Numbered accounts are gone. The James Bond era of Switzerland, I don't think exists anymore, really. I mean, we do due diligence beyond what the U.S. goes and does, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I really think with the respect for private property in Switzerland, I mean, the fact that you can go to a museum and leave your umbrella outside, 4 hours later, your umbrella is still there. I mean, it's a cute story, but it's reflective of what the whole nation feels like.
Yeah, and BFI Capital Group as well.
Of course. I mean, we've been actually BFI Capital Group. We just celebrated our 25th anniversary last year of helping. Thank you. And even though Global Gold was only started in 2007, 2008, I've been proud to be part of that group and what we've done. I mean, we've helped a lot of American clients, but Canadian clients, Europeans, and now obviously with Global Gold. I mean, it's a worldwide program.
Okay, let's talk practical stuff now. How hard is it to get into your program? What kind of storage do you offer? What are the products that you offer?
Interestingly enough, if you know anything about opening a bank account in Switzerland, it's very long and very, you get a stack of paper about this big. With Global Gold, as an individual investor, it's basically a 5-6 page application. You have to provide a notarized copy of a passport and a utility bill to prove your address. But basically, that's our onboarding process. Once everything's fine, you're onboarded, you receive access to the client login, and then you have the purchase order form and the bank wire instructions. And at that point, you can make the decision, where you want to store. Switzerland is basically our main. That's where the majority of our clients hold their precious metals. But we do have other storage locations.
Hong Kong, I believe.
Yeah, Hong Kong. We use Singapore. Recently, we're looking more into New Zealand. We're using New Zealand already. But I mean, that's an interesting option because we feel it's a close second to Switzerland. And especially if you consider the geographical distance that a lot of precious metals investors like. But again, for us, to a certain degree, those are plan B options. Even for us at Global Gold, I mean, maybe things in Switzerland aren't always going to be as good as they are today. And so for us, it's prudent to have other options as well.
My grandmother always says it's a foolish mouse that only has one exit. So,
I mean, I have to be honest. I mean, like I said, the majority of our clients use storage in Switzerland, but we have clients in the Far East as well, and something like Singapore, New Zealand, and Hong Kong makes sense for them because they're close to their metals as well. So it's.
So, considering Switzerland, you already elaborated a bit on that. Well, we're going to cut this out, but because obviously we talked about it.
Yeah.
Do you have other questions you want me to ask you? Let's cut all of this out. I'm pretty.
No, I mean we can talk. We can go into the specific options, storage options, because we haven't gone there. Getting back into the subject of storage, we actually have 3 unique options. I think it's also one of the things that sets us apart maybe from some of the other providers, precious metals dealers out there. We have a collective, a segregated, and a very unique key box storage.
Collective, segregated, and key box.
Collective, yeah. Collective, to give you an example, is we store together the same type of metals and formats. So if I buy 10 coins and you buy 10 coins, our 20 are stored together.
Okay.
If I want,
but allocated. My name is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. But I mean, if I want my 10 coins, then any 10 are taken. Okay, so it's not specific to your name or your number. It's our most popular option because it's also the least expensive option that we offer. So it's great for quite a few clients. Then with the segregated option is actually where the metal are physically kept separate from each other, either in a different location, a different box, a different pallet, whatever the case may be. That option usually starts with 250,000, but there it's really popular, especially with our institutional investors, because there we provide, we can provide the bar numbers, then the metals that come in either on a purchase, or we offer actually an in-kind transfer as well.
So you have the trust of the institution.
Exactly. And then what metals come in are the exact ones that are coming out. If they pick up, or if they sell, or if they deliver. And then our key box storage, that's quite unique because it's a box about this big. It stores about 30 kilos worth of precious metals.
Mine will fit in.
Yeah, mine certainly does. But No, what's unique there is you're the owner of that specific box. So you buy the box, you buy the lock, the Kaba lock, and the 2 keys that go with it, and you're the only one that has access to that. So it's a really unique option. I think if you're looking for ultimate asset protection, you're the only one that can come and access that. The downside is that you don't have the flexibility for us to buy and sell for you, right? With a collective and segregated storage.
Can one client have 2 types of storage?
Sure. That's completely possible. Actually, just 2 weeks ago, I had a client in Switzerland that had 500-gram gold bars in collective storage. And then what we did is we moved them into key box, but he still has some of those bars in collective as well.
Some flexibility then.
Well, some flexibility and even, for pricing. Or he's thinking, the key box to this particular client represents, something he really doesn't want to touch for a long time. The plan is that's going to stay there. And the collective storage is the option where if he decides, things get better in 5 years and he wants to start investing, he can sell from that.
Yeah. You're not the cheapest storage program, and I like that because when you try to go off the cheap, that turns out to be expensive a lot of times.
Well, that's one of the things you have to watch out for when you're getting into precious metals, and especially if you're going to talk physically allocated metals, and not paper metals. If storage is too cheap, something's wrong. There's a time, I don't want to poo-poo any other precious metal options because, I too am invested in a precious metals ETF that we have in Switzerland. But I also know that if I want to buy or sell quick, that's the direction I'm going to go. I use it for that purpose. I also have my physically allocated, physically stored. Hey, I still have some at home in my safe, but I also have some at Global Gold, and I do keep a little at the bank. Even though I trust the Swiss banks,
I don't trust any bank.
At the end of the day, I still feel a lot more safe with the non-banking options, but we got to keep our banker happy too a little bit.
Okay, so flexible program. It's not designed for traders.
No,
it has to be clear.
That's got to be clear.
And you don't touch it.
It's for the buy and hold crowd. I want to say a lot more. Of course, because it is unencumbered ownership and your metals are there, we can certainly sell. You can certainly buy to have delivery right away as well. But no, the majority of our clients are looking to buy and hold.
Well, I think with that, we have a lot covered already. I'm looking forward to your presentation tomorrow, which will have more detailed information. But for now, I just want to say thank you.
Thanks, Brecht. It was a pleasure speaking with you today.